we got to air it out. Let's air it out. So we got to air it out. Let's air it out. So
how do you say that? Air it out. Air it out.
Air it out.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Air It Out podcast. I am your host, Avery Collins. I'm joined here today by none other than the one and only and Coach Braxton in the building. Juan, say what's up to the people. You look a little cold there, man. But you look cozy.
I am cold. Apparently, brick cannot insulate you from anything under 30 degrees.
Yeah, well, that's something for you.
But waking up pretty good. Just woke up from like a 4-hour nap because I worked the graveyard shift over at the news station. But overall, it's a good day, man. It's a good day.
Glad to hear it. Not sure 4 hours constitutes as a nap, but hey, to each their own. Coach Braxton, what is up, sir? Say what's up to the people.
What's going on? We're not doing this. Where is this coming from, people? Hey, we're not doing this. This is not.
Why we canceling Coach?
This is not.
If you wish injury for a second time on this podcast, okay?
No,
But it didn't happen.
no, exactly. And I didn't wish it.
Doesn't matter.
I didn't wish it. It's okay. It is okay, people. But
If it does it a third time, then I'll care.
Listen, I'm here. I'm ready to talk. And can we start with the guy that is finally no more? I don't have to worry about him because I only got 2 things to say about him.
You know what? I will oblige you, sir. I will oblige you, and that's exactly what we will talk about first. If you don't know who he's talking about, okay, Coach is clearly a diehard Eagles fan. Excuse me. He's a diehard Ravens fan, and if you did not know, Big Ben, a.k.a. Ben Roethlisberger, has officially announced his retirement from the NFL. Big Ben has won 2 Super Bowls in his career, and a countless amount of Pro Bowls and All Pros and all those different things. Big Ben has definitely been a staple in this last decade and a half. I mean, you really can't talk about the game of football on a professional level without mentioning his name and what he has done in the sport of football. But he now hangs it up. So the question is, and we all saw it coming, but the question now becomes, what is his legacy? What is the legacy of Ben Roethlisberger? What are your thoughts on his retirement? Coach, I will start with you.
Thank you, Steelers Nation, for finally letting him go. I was sick of seeing him 2 times a year. It was needed. Hopefully you got sucked down for the next 2 years as you look for a new quarterback because you don't have it on your roster. But the one nice thing I will say about Big Ben, when it mattered most, he was a guy that often showed up, and I hated that about him. But that was one of his best traits. All right, that's it. I can't say nothing else nice about the guy. Peace out.
That's it, I guess, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, there's that. Okay. All right. Juan, what are your thoughts?
But first off, congrats to Ben Roethlisberger for a Hall of Fame career. Maybe not first ballot, probably first ballot, but I'd say more along the lines of second ballot. We can't ignore the accomplishments that Big Ben has brought to this league. He's 4th or 5th in passing yards overall in his career, over 400 touchdowns, brought the Steelers to not 2, but 3 Super Bowl appearances, winning 2 of them, including one in legendary fashion against the Arizona Cardinals. Not to mention the body type that he was and the physicality that he brought to the game was an inspiration to many, many, many quarterbacks down the line. I dare say that the toughness and ability to create outside of the pocket is a trait that most modern NFL quarterbacks are trying to replicate. I mean, oftentimes you hear draft analysts say, oh, this guy's like the next Ben Roethlisberger in regards to his style of play, which is backyard football. We heard about Josh Allen. We heard about Patrick Mahomes. And it is something that should be acknowledged. However, while Ben Roethlisberger, the football player, is someone to be celebrated, like Kobe Bryant when he died and we honored his legacy, we must also keep in mind the legacy that Ben Roethlisberger had off the field. Or should I say, the disgrace of it. It's not easy to talk about those kind of subjects. And it is oftentimes difficult to really try to compare how to remember Big Ben. I guess the only thing that we can do is remember that despite his errors, despite his mistakes, despite his lack of judgment in certain situations, we remember he's human. And a human nonetheless makes mistakes. So I will say congrats to Big Ben. Can't wait to see you in Canton, buddy.
All right. I mean, there you have it, folks. Those are the thoughts. I mean,
with that one.
I would agree. Like I said, you can't really talk about the last decade and a half without mentioning his name, mentioning the Steelers and everything like that. Hey, Johnny, what is up, sir? What's up? What's up? Thank you for jumping in. I'm not sure why you're not getting the notifications. I actually didn't get the notification myself either, so I'm not exactly sure what happened there. But hey, you're here now. That's all that matters. But yeah, Big Ben. I agree with you, Juan. I mean, definitely a legacy on the field without question. Winning 2 Super Bowls. He's never had I believe he's never had a losing season because he's actually been under the Mike Tomlin era, and Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season as a head coach. So, I mean, the one thing you can say is he's a winner, and so it's interesting that you brought up again the off the field things. Some would say leave what's off the field. Some would say you can't separate the two. I love the fact that you just touched on it at the end. He is human, and I believe that as egregious as his acts were, or alleged acts were, or whatever, however you want to, frame it, I believe they were more highlighted than they would be if it was, myself or, you, Juan, or somebody who's not necessarily in that spotlight and have that type of attention and limelight. So, yeah, he is human. He has made mistakes. I believe that the mistakes that people make, everybody has to be held accountable for those. But it is what it is. Big Ben retires, and Lamar Jackson still ain't the best quarterback in the AFC. Ha, ha, ha. Sorry, coach. I had to troll. I absolutely love it. It's okay, though, CEO Jerome Jones, because remember, he's not a Ravens fan. He's an Eagles fan. Johnny Dean says, Coach looking pretty serious today. That is because the Ravens still haven't fired Greg Roman yet. Ouch. Okay.
I'm still waiting for that John Harbaugh.
Just saying. I mean, hey, it is what it is. And he meant to say AFC North. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that is actually extremely funny. I mean, there's definitely looking like there's a new tide in the NFC, the AFC North there. So we will see what happens. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens. If you don't know who we're talking about Joseph Burrow. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
let's wait till we get healthy again, and then we'll talk.
Okay. Listen. I like it. Other news, other than Big Ben. He said, Coach catching heat early. Yes, he's catching heat. Speaking of coaches and different things like that, Sean Payton has decided to walk away from the New Orleans Saints. If you have not heard, Sean Payton is stepping down as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints after, a storied career in New Orleans. I mean, obviously the best coach that the New Orleans Saints has ever had. The only Super Bowl, he brought the only Super Bowl that the Saints have ever had. All those different things. I mean, we know how he was as a play caller and how innovative he was, and how him and Drew Brees were able to make magic on that field. So my thoughts, my question, I should say, to you, Juan, I'll start with you here. What was your initial reaction to this, as far as Sean Payton stepping away? At least the Ravens had the best running back. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Because if you don't know, that's a shot at Lamar Jackson, but it is what it is. Kevin James
No
to take over
shots.
the Saints. Kevin James to take over the Saints. All right, all right. So yeah, Juan, talk to me, man. What do you feel about Sean Payton stepping away? What were your initial reactions? Do you think he coaches the game?
First off, I will not be taking shots at any fan base on this show today, simply out of the spirit of my dad's birthday this week. So I'm gonna be respectful.
Okay.
That being said, Jerome, cool down, man. Cool down. You got your team knocked out of the playoffs in 1 week. So, and it wasn't even close.
I'm not even gonna talk about that Bucks loss. It's just we're gonna let it go.
Anyway,
We'll let it go.
Anyway. Sean Payton is a complicated man to talk about. I mean, complicated in the sense that, number one, he is a legend in Louisiana, not New Orleans, Louisiana. It could even extend to Mississippi and Alabama, the entire southeastern part of the country. That man is a legend. All right. He brought a sense of hope out of the pit of despair of New Orleans when Katrina hit, and ushered the New Orleans Saints into an era of dominance and consistency for as long as he could, with Drew Brees at the helm. And it is difficult to kind of ask yourself what could taint that kind of legacy, and unfortunately, Bountygate was a major part of it. There were rumors at the time that Sean Payton was a high stress part of his life, that he was on drugs during that time of Bountygate. Unsupported, of course, but there were, of course, rumors. And that year off of football helped him clear his mind, helped him get clean, and come back to the game with a new perspective of how to approach things. So if nothing, he's adaptable, and he proved that this year when he had not one, not two, not three, but four starting quarterbacks in the rotation after his Hall of Fame quarterback retired the year before. Sean Payton I feel like will always be remembered as a spirit uplifter within the city of New Orleans. I feel like he'll always be remembered as a symbol of success and prosperity for the Saints organization. And in regards to what he'll pursue, it all depends. I know he has an interest in joining a broadcast booth. He hasn't said which one, although if Troy Aikman does leave his post at Fox to go to Amazon, it is highly possible we'll be seeing Sean Payton in the booth with Joe Buck, and that might be kind of exciting. He could be maybe going for a manager or an executive position, sort of like his mentor Bill Parcells did when he joined the Miami Dolphins and he joined the Dallas Cowboys after he came out of his retirement. I think Sean Payton, what he's looking to do is take time away from the game, at least 1 year. A lot of people like Doug Peterson and Ben McAdoo and a bunch of other coaches did, stepping away from the game to really find the perspective of what they want out of life, because Sean Payton is the kind of guy that can't stay away from the gridiron, no matter how hard he tries or whether he's forced to do so. And I just want to say congrats to Sean Payton. 65 wins over 500 as an NFL head coach. I believe that if Sean Payton never came back to the gridiron, if he never comes back to football, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Fame head coach, in my opinion.
Okay. I like it. I mean, Jerome was absolutely chewing you a new one in the comments there. Based
I
on your,
didn't even flinch, bro. I did not even flinch.
based on your comments. But yeah, Sean Payton definitely interesting and some good perspective there, Juan. Coach, what are your thoughts? I mean, what was your initial reaction to Sean Payton retiring? Do you think he coaches again? Do you agree with Juan that he ends up in the booth or more of a front office executive position?
I have to get that man a clap, a hand, anything he needs because that guy was New Orleans. Let's be honest. For the 16 years that he was there, he was New Orleans. That team was consistently in the playoffs, other than about, I believe, a 3-year stretch where they did go 7-9. But that team offensively was one of the best in history. Let's start there first off. I just want y'all to hear me out. First in NFL history in average points, 27.6 per game. And yards gained, almost 400 yards per game when Sean Payton was coaching the Saints. That is ridiculous. For 16 years, he had that type of consistency. Yes, he had Drew Brees, but those two together is what made that work so well. And then on top of that, Sean Payton has over 150 career wins. His winning percentage, 0.63. The guy know how to coach football. Yes, he had Bounty Gate. We all know things happen. But as Juan said, even after all of that, he came back and still produced the same things. Yes, I feel like he should have maybe won one more, but unfortunately it never rolled in his favor, especially these last few years. But I think, honestly, the reason why he left is not just to get a perspective, but the Saints are in bad shape. The offense is, where's your quarterback? We've already went through 4 different quarterbacks just this year alone.
Bad shape?
Yes, bad shape. Who is going to be our receivers?
We're
Our
going to
tight
talk about
ends.
that in a bit.
Listen here. They are $74 million over the cap. Who's going to be able to stay? Who's going to be able to produce? Especially with guys especially on defense getting older. But the offense, other than Alvin Kamara, who do you truly trust and can tell me right now is a playmaker for the Saints? But let's be honest. They are not the same Saints team. We've seen it this year, and I don't think he was willing to try to deal and mix and match and go through this rebuilding process. So
I can understand that, and I agree. I agree that I don't think he wanted to go through rebuild. I don't agree that they're in bad shape. I mean, they still have a lot of good defensive players. Yes, they are aging, but they are still producing, and they were, I believe, one game out of the playoffs this year.
how many defensive players are going to have to go?
You are correct.
Contracts.
You are correct. I'm just saying that I wouldn't say that. I would say that they're in a bad shape. I think they're in a different shape, and I do believe that the quarterback situation definitely played a part in his decision. I personally don't believe Sean Payton coaches another down of football. I think he's actually done like coaching. I could see him coming back in the booth. I could see him having a front office role, but I don't think he coaches again. I don't think he wants that type of, I don't want to say pressure, but just time away. I think he's obviously aged. He's realizing, hey, listen, man, the tail of the tape is that he may not win anytime soon. And as a coach, I mean, you want to win as well as your passion for the game, but you do want to win. So I think he won't coach anymore, but I think he may do some broadcast booth things or front office things maybe. But I think he just wants to spend more time with family. So I agree with Juan that he take at least a year off. Good guess, but it was the last time the Jets were in the playoff. And so yeah, I believe that he just chills and waits it out for about a year or two. Over $70 million over the cap. and high cap players and no franchise QB, that's a bad situation. Listen again. I understand.
Thank you, Chris.
Listen, I
Thank
understand.
you.
I understand all of that, but we've seen Sean Payton do some amazing things with some worse teams. That's
But
what I'm
Sean
saying.
Payton's not there.
Granted, Drew Brees was at the helm for a lot of that, so he was able to a lot of stuff got glossed over because of how good Drew Brees was. However, I mean, he could find himself a quarterback. I believe he could. How about the last time the Jets beat the Eagles? Woo, he'll be in Dallas in 2023.
Big mad today, isn't he?
Wow. I would listen. Dallas in 2023 would actually be phenomenal. I would love to see that.
That would be their best chance to get a.
I would love and hate to see it. I would love and hate to see it. I would love to see it from Dak and all those guys. But I would hate to see it because I'm not the biggest Cowboys fan. Peyton is going to coach high school and bet that. I wouldn't be surprised at that. It's just on the NFL level. My I guess it's a hot take if you will. I don't think he coaches in the NFL ever again. That's just my personal opinion, but we will see, ladies and gentlemen. We will see. Go ahead, Coach.
Last thing, if you're doing hot takes, then if Sean Payton was to coach the Cowboys within the first 2 years, that would be their best chance, and I believe the Cowboys would actually win the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, again,
especially with the squad they have now.
I guess I guess it depends on when he gets there. Jerome says the Cowboys are going to get Sean Payton and still lose in the first round. Johnny Dean agrees. Speaking of rounds, let's move on to our next topic. This past weekend of football. Oh my goodness. This divisional round was absolutely phenomenal. I don't care what anybody says. It was probably the best weekend of football I can remember in the last at least 10 years. Absolutely great games. Back to back to back to back. All decided, well, except for the Chiefs game, but all decided by 3 points or less. All decided by one score. One of those games going to overtime. Just a back and forth heavyweight fight between the Chiefs and the Bills. Absolutely phenomenal weekend. Still love you, Juan. Wish you were going to the Senior Bowl with us. So listen, I need to know. Talk, Coach, about this divisional round.
First off, I'm gonna give it to him, and I'm only gonna give it to him because that was bravo. Hey yo, Darius, great job on your picks. Great job with your hot takes, man.
Sorry, Johnny.
I can't believe it. The first season in each conference gone by 3 points less on a game-winning field goal. The Titans, I kind of seen it coming a little bit. It was still a little shaky for me. Still a little shaky on the Titans. I don't know if it's Tannehill. I don't know if it's some of the dysfunction on the offense and not getting everybody involved. I don't know if it's the defense who played really well this year. Just shows still too many leaks for me. The Packers is a surprise. The Packers had the opportunity, had the advantages, had everything they needed to pull this out, and they just couldn't deliver. And special teams killed them. Yeah. But my favorite game, Chiefs and Bills was crazy. It was crazy. The way they went back and forth, the fact there was 25 points in the last 2 minutes of the game. And Jerome, another one for you. Gabriel Davis. 4 touchdowns in that game. If anyone had a breakout game, coming out party, it was Gabriel Davis.
Man, that post route. Oh.
And unfortunately, it all came down to a coin toss. And Pat said, yeah, I've been here before. You're not touching it ever again. Oh. All right. Tom Brady, you out the playoffs too. Ha, bye.
Ooh,
Let's go.
well, there you have it, folks. Juan, your thoughts. I mean, what did you think about this divisional round of football?
I'm going to kind of holler back at something. I'll start with the 49ers and Packers game. Everyone calling, it's going to kind of tie into the other topic that we have for today, but screw it. I'm bringing it in anyways. People are saying that Aaron Rodgers' legacy will forever be remembered as a choker who couldn't bring it when it mattered the most. Can't you say the exact same thing about Drew Brees when he couldn't bring the Saints back to the Super Bowl after 2009? Can't you say the same thing for Sean Payton, who couldn't get that team over the hump? The hypocrisy in media, in sports media, is amazing. Just because you want to tackle one controversial figure with so much.
I think the caveat there is Drew Brees was never considered the best. He was never considered the GOAT. He was never considered like up there with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
Which is a travesty.
Never
considering what the man was able to do, despite all the doubts that he was planted upon, just because he wasn't over 6 feet tall. Like, it is astounding. Oh my God. Hey. With that being said, you know, I was listening to this interview that Sean Payton has a show with Peter Schrager on YouTube, and he interviewed Kyle Shanahan, and the amount, the connection and brotherhood that these two have is simply astounding. It was like listening to two best friends gush over football together. And it also kind of gave me like the semblance of like what Kyle Shanahan's mindset is whenever he faces the Packers versus the Rams. Like with Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan's like kind of friendly competition. It's like, yeah, we make each other better. But against the Packers, it is bitter. It is a bitter rivalry simply because Shanahan tried to go after Aaron Rodgers in the offseason, and Matt LaFleur did not like that one bit. But I digress. 49ers Packers, like you can imagine, everyone here in Wisconsin is severely disappointed. And it's the headline for every single news channel around here. That's how bad it was. Bengals at Titans. The Titans were frauds, and we should have seen it coming when they got the first seed. Every time they were the first seed, they always lost in the divisional round.
Lucked into the first seed.
Like they lucked into the first seed. It honestly should have gone to the Chiefs, but semantics. The Bengals are true contenders. Joe Burrow is the real deal, and I can't wait to see this AFC Championship go down. It's gonna be something beautiful to see. Rams at Buccaneers. Tom Brady, I don't think he'll retire. He said he played to age 45. I'm gonna hold him to his word. But he really has nothing to play for at this point. Like he said, he would want it to go. He doesn't want a going away tour. I think that's complete. I think that's completely wrong. I feel like Tom Brady wants to be celebrated for who he is and what he's accomplished. The underdog mentality would want him to feel that way because he's always been that dude who always feels like everyone just wants him to fail, and to a certain extent, it's true. But the Buccaneers are in a weird situation. They're going to be losing a bunch of stars to free agency. There's questions as to whether or not Bruce Arians is going to be coming back. The Bucs are not going to be the same team next year as they were in the last 2 years. That much will be true. Congrats to the Rams. Matthew Stafford, Odell getting over the hump. Finally, like it doesn't look like Odell's boat will be sinking this time. And then finally, Bills Chiefs. Everyone wants to change the playoff rules just because Patrick Mahomes did something in 13 seconds. Not a lot of quarterbacks can do in 13 minutes. It is astounding. We can talk in debates further down the line whether or not these OT rules should be changed. But the fact of the matter is you're supposed to have the number one defense in the NFL. You can't stop, 2 routes. Oh, give me a break. Like I said, you can't stop 2 simple crossing routes or 1 slant route and a crossing route to stop the team from getting a field goal range. You're telling me you can't do that? It's sad. I will say, it would. I think overtime games would be a lot better if both teams got the ball. That's it. All right, I'm done.
I will say this. I agree with that last point you made. I believe that they should have college type rules, not get it at the 25-yard line, but there should be a kickoff, right? At least a kickoff. Let both teams' offense touch the football at least once, right? At least once. Just let them touch the football. I've been screaming this for years, though. It's not because of the Chiefs and Bills game. I've been screaming this for years that I believe the NFL should adopt this. As far as everything else goes, absolutely. I mean, what happened to the squib kick? Do we not squib the ball anymore? Squib the ball. That literally takes some time off the clock. Obviously, it potentially puts you in a position where they are closer, but you at least run some of that time off the clock, and then you make it a little bit more difficult. And then you do not play no prevent defense against Patrick Mahomes with his cannon, against Travis Kelce, who can run routes like a receiver, against Tyreek Hill, who's the fastest guy in football. You just don't do that. It doesn't make any sense at all. I blame the defensive coordinator for that game. I blame the defensive coordinator for the Bucs loss. You do not send a corner blitz at Matthew Stafford on the side that Cooper Kupp is on and have a safety who's known as a in-the-box safety cover the best wide receiver in football this year. What were you thinking? On both of those, in both of those games, I'm blaming the defensive coordinator. Obviously, I understand as players, you got to step up, you got to make plays. Absolutely. But no, absolutely not. I am not. There's no way I'm calling anything that has Cooper Kupp single covered. There's no way I'm having anything called that doesn't have Tyreek Hill in brackets and Travis Kelce in brackets. I am sorry. Johnny says OT is what it is. You want to get your offense on the field. Stop the other team. Defense is a part of the game, and it's also showcased in overtime. I agree 100%. I agree with that without question, that defense is still a part of the game. Your defense has to show up without question. However, in a game like that, I would have just loved to see if the Bills could get the ball one more time. What would happen? That's all I'm saying. Disagree with we're complaining about the rule changes to favor the offense and inconvenience the defense. Yeah, people want to make a rule change to continue that. Make a stop. Listen, I agree 100% with that. Again, like I said, your defense has to step up. Point blank, period. Your defense got to step up. The issue is you look at something like that where the Bills defense was just on the field, right? They could have been tired, Hey, Dad, what's up? Bills defense was worn out, right? See, they had just came off the field, all of those different things. The defense worn out because they couldn't stop them. Well,
Thank you.
Absolutely. Listen, absolutely. None of those points am I going to argue. Because I'm not arguing the points, I'm just stating another point. The other point that I would like is, like I said, give us some actual. Again, the reason I say this is because you look at what happens in college, right? You look at what happens in college and how those games end up playing out. It's phenomenal football, right? And that's what I want. That's what I like to see. I like to see, can their defense now stop us, right? All of those different things. So it's just, again, just a suggestion. I've been screaming it for years. I'm always going to scream it. Can we talk about Nicole real quick? I honestly think his emergence helped turn around the Chiefs this year and made it harder to stop Tyreek and Travis. I can agree, as well as Pringle. Yeah, I can agree with that. I honestly believe that it was a situation where they were kind of keeping Tyreek Hill on the quote unquote shelf. And then they unleashed him in the playoff game. Like they just unleashed him because he was battling some nagging injuries all year. So I think they were like, we're going to do enough to keep your numbers up there. You'll be top 10 in every category. We'll feed you just enough. But we're really going to unleash you during the playoffs. But you can't take away from what those guys did either. And definitely I would agree with Mecole Hardman. I think he definitely, the way they started scheming him with the running the football and the screens and different things like that, I definitely think it definitely played a part as well. So we're moving on. And speaking of moving on, we're moving on to our next topic. And the next topic is about two quarterbacks who potentially could be moving on. We don't know. I mean, they've said certain things. We've heard all these different things, but What's next for Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers? I mean, Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show and said that whatever announcement he decides to make, he should go on the Pat McAfee show. And this is coming after he just bigged up that entire football team, the offensive line, the defense, Jonathan Taylor, an MVP candidate, all of those different things. Some people are speculating that Aaron Rodgers might want to go on and play in Indy. And I know a lot of Indy fans who would not be upset with that. Tom Brady, as Juan alluded to, said he wants to play till 45. Tom Brady clearly wasn't the problem or the reason for their loss. He played well. Tom Brady still is a very effective quarterback. So he's not the issue. So the question becomes, what's next for these guys? And Juan, I'll start with you. What do you think is next for Aaron Rodgers? What do you think is next for Tom Brady? Do you think we see retirement and now like we're looking at a completely new landscape of football from the quarterback position? That means Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers, all those quarterbacks we quote unquote grew up with are now no longer in the league. Do you think one of them retires? Do you think they both continue to play? Do you think they both continue to play for their respective teams? Talk to me.
With Aaron, you'll never know until he actually says something. There's been rumors about him going to Denver, about him going to Pittsburgh, about him going to Indianapolis, basically anywhere out of Green Bay. But the relationship between him and management in Green Bay has been fixed. He said publicly that on the Pat McAfee show that he's going to wait until he sees what happens with Devontae Adams' contract situation until he comes to a decision about what he wants to do. But he did say that he was not going to retire and then come back out to play, that option is never on the table. He'll either retire permanently, stay with the Packers, or be traded. And he's open to eat any one of them. And that's perfectly fine. I know Packers fans are kind of done with Aaron Rodgers. I've seen it in their faces. They're kind of tired of the drama that he brought and the whole hype that everyone thought he was going to be able to bring to this postseason. They're done with it. I think that they're ready for the Jordan Love era to begin, but first the Packers kind of have to figure out what they're going to do with their free agents. And trust me, there's plenty of them. As for Brady, we all know that Brady can play till he's 50. The reality of the situation is Brady is the GOAT. He has been and always will be until Patrick Mahomes come in and takes the throne. For Brady, though, it's hard to predict. It is a hard prediction to make because on the one hand, he wants to be there for his family. He wants to, make Giselle happy and finally leave the NFL to be the family man that, he's always supposed to be. But just like I said with Sean Payton, you can't take football out of this man's life. It's all he's ever breathed. It's all he's ever eaten. It's all he's ever drank. Tom Brady is football. And you can't just take that away from him. He'll find a way to be attached to the game in some way, shape, or form, whether it be as a player, as a broadcaster, as a consultant, or otherwise. But in terms of coming back, just like Aaron Rodgers, you don't know with Brady this time. You just don't know.
Yeah. It'll definitely be very, very interesting to see what happens with both guys. Coach, what are your thoughts?
So let's start here. First off, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady will not retire. Neither one this season. I'll start with that. For Rodgers in particular, Rodgers I feel like really will be traded. There's a lot of spots he can go. But I really do love the idea of Rodgers in Denver. And I feel like he's going to go because I feel like there's not going to be an agreement on a contract extension with Devontae Adams and the Green Bay Packers. I feel like Devontae is going to go to the Raiders. He's going to go play with Derek Carr. But that all depends on the coach that they hire. But for mainly Aaron Rodgers, I don't believe he's going to stay there. I don't believe his heart is in it to stay in Green Bay. And like Juan said, the Packer fans are kind of ready for him to go. Give us Jordan Love. That's what they say. That's what they want. Take it. And for Brady, he's going to play until 45, but only because he's too much of a competitor, I feel like, to quit yet when he is still so close to winning another one.
Okay.
The competitor in him, I don't believe, will allow him to quit until he fully can't, and his body almost says, "This is it."
Okay, I like it. I believe I'll give my hot takes. I'll give it a hot at the hot take session. But um yeah, I like both guys. Denver just hired Packers OC, so maybe Rodgers going to Denver will happen. Definitely.
And he has been talking to Nathaniel Hackett all on Pat McAfee.
The CEO and Ray, my twin, were just talking about that game yesterday. You put that more on Donovan. He's talking to Johnny there. And good point, Chris. Yes, very good point. Very good point. Again, the Packers offensive coordinator, now the head coach for the Denver Broncos. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I want to know, you guys, do you think that Rodgers plays as long as Brady? Yes or no? Just quick.
No.
Okay. So yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. Listen, like I said, it'll be interesting. 3 more years. Okay, 3 more years. 3 more years, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I get it. So my question to you guys: if you're Brady or Rodgers, okay, let's say you are getting traded, where do you want to end up? Like, what's the prime position for you if you're Aaron Rodgers? What's the prime position for you if you're Tom Brady? And I'll start with you. Coach.
Aaron Rodgers, it would be the Broncos. Defense, oh my God, solid. And it's going to be even better in the years to come, especially with so much young talent. Then on offense, if they can get that offensive line revamped this offseason a little bit better, they have the weapons for Tom Brady to for Aaron Rodgers to look great. And vice versa. Even for Tom Brady, that would be a great situation. They just need the offensive line. But for Tom Brady, more so, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I feel like his best spot would be the Colts.
Okay.
It would be the Colts. The Colts have some of the big body guys that Tom Brady would like to work with. That he can still throw it up. The Chris Godwins, the Mike Evans type guys. And Michael Pittman, Zach Pascal. They still got a few little speed guys here and there, but having a guy like Jonathan Taylor behind him to take that pressure off, and he doesn't have to throw the ball now 30, 40 times. Yes, Leonard Fournette is good, but I'm sorry. Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones together is not Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. All right. Juan, really quickly, just where do you think that, what's the prime spots for those two guys?
Rodgers in Denver, Tom Brady in San Francisco.
All right. There you have it, folks. There you have it. I'll give mine in the hot takes because I'm not just going to give my speculation. I'm going to give what I believe is actually going to happen. But last topic, I need to know, guys, what coaching vacancy is the best in your eyes, right? Obviously, there's still a couple of vacancies that are open, right? And one that just opened up, right? Obviously, New Orleans with no longer having Sean Payton, that's a destination. Obviously, we heard again, the offensive coordinator from the Packers is now going to be the head coach of the Broncos. There's still some out there. I believe there was another coaching vacancy that just got filled. I'm gapping it right now, But what vacancy is like to you the biggest? Like that's the one. Okay, I like it. But what's the biggest or the best vacancy for you in your opinion? Juan, I'll start with you.
It's hard to say because looking at a lot of these positions, none of them really look that desirable as a head coach. But the closest if I was looking for like rebuilding an entire franchise as a coach, I would say Chicago is a good destination. You have an up and coming quarterback in Justin Fields. that you can develop and play around with. You can basically turn him into whatever you want him to, so long as you know how to do it.
I have not started yet, but I'm starting tonight.
Amazing.
I'll start when it's over. Let's
Matt Eberflus.
the offense is not bad. The running game is good. It's just you have to figure out how to fix that offensive line. And the defense is top tier, next level. You don't really have to worry too much about that for the next couple of years or so. A close second would be Minnesota because they're in a win now situation. The offense is elite. I don't care what people say about Kirk Cousins. The man puts up numbers, even though when it doesn't matter. You just have to figure out how to fix the defense. That's it.
Bruh, I can't believe Kirk Cousins' name got brought up in this here. Got brought up here in this here podcast today. All right, Eberflus, another Dungy tree guy. Listen, if you listen, okay, I'm just saying Dungy was that dude. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, for me, it's interesting, right? I do think Minnesota is probably poised to be in the best position to win now, as you said, Juan. I think defensively there's still some holes, but offensively there's not too many. You got two great wide receivers. You got a great running back. I mean, as far as Kirk Cousins goes, I mean, I don't think he can get you over the hump, but you could bring in somebody. That's all I'm saying. At least it wasn't AB's name. This is true. You just brought it up, though. So there's another AB reference because of that, Jerome. Come on, man. Why would you do this to us? Anyway, you know what? I'm done with my take. We're going to move into the game picks for this weekend's round of football. After Coach, last point.
Best team to go to. It would have been the Broncos.
I know exactly where you're about to
honestly
go.
is the Dolphins.
Okay. All right, now it's time for the game picks, ladies and gentlemen. Game picks. Okay, this weekend we have, we got some championships popping off. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's not funny, Drum. It's not funny. We're tired of this guy. I don't want to hear his name on this podcast anymore. I want to retire from football so we can be done. Eberflus has connections in the league to hire the right people. This is actually very, very true. That is a very, very good point, Johnny. Very well respected around the league as well. And so, yeah, I agree with that 100%. Unpopular opinion. Houston, if you get a haul from Watson, you get a few years to build a team from the ground up. This is true, Chris. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, you get a team that gives you like let's say, like you said, a haul. Like, let's say 3 first rounds or something like that. That's something to work with. Also, you look like a hero after what Bill O'Brien did. I can't agree with you anymore, Chris, with that one for sure. That one right there, that's the reason right there. That's it. That is it. Okay. And Johnny says, wait, no one talking about the Texans wanting to hire Josh McCown. Only coaching experience is high school. I did not know that. That's absolutely disgusting. I'm okay. I'm good off Josh McCown. I love him as a quarterback. Love him. Absolute dog. Love him. And I think he'll be a great coach, like a coordinator, but I don't think like head coach. You gotta give me some time first. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just me. But yes, our game picks, ladies and gentlemen, because again, we've got the championships coming on up. We got the AFC championship between the Bengals and the Chiefs, and the NFC championship between the 49ers and the Rams. So I need to know your picks, and I will start with you, Coach. You guys want to go someplace warm? Trust me. All right. I like that. That's good. This is true. I mean, young guys too, because I can't stand the cold. I was D'Amico Ryans. I want D'Amico Ryans to get a head coaching job. It wouldn't be bad. I mean, I guess you're going to be a homer there. I don't know if he's ready for that, but hey, listen, I wouldn't be mad either. I was going to say, I think maybe another year, but that's just me. Niners, please. Okay, I like it. All right, talk to us, Coach. Game picks.
Rams, Chiefs. That's your Super Bowl.
Okay, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Short, sweet, and to the point. Short,
Yeah.
sweet, and to the point.
One thing though, both games will be just like the beginning of last week, decided by 3 points at the end of the game, and unfortunately, Patrick Mahomes does it again within 30 seconds this time. We'll give him a little more time.
Okay.
He don't need it, but
Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Juan, your game pick, sir.
Rams, Bengals.
Bengals.
I think that McVay will be able to get over the hump of Kyle Shanahan, even though he's lost the last 6 games against him. And I'm just gonna keep riding the Burrow train going. It's just been an awesome ride, and I don't want it to end anytime soon. You know, like riding the Bengals bandwagon's been really fun. For all the teams that haven't been able to get a win in the last 10 years, just to see an underdog make it this far, I want to see how far this team can take it.
It'll definitely be interesting. I mean, I think it'll definitely be really, really fun to see like a Bengals versus Rams Super Bowl. That'd be really, really fun to watch. I'm sorry, but everyone's going to be disappointed this week from all the hype last week. I'm going to disagree with you there, Jerome, but I'll leave that for my hot takes. My game picks, though, Super Bowl rematch from 2 years ago, 49ers versus the Chiefs. All right, Chris. My game picks, I'm going to go with the Rams. I believe the Rams do get over the hump, like you said, Juan. Chris, no worries. It's a Shanahan team. They will get to the Super Bowl, have a lead, then lose it. Bang! Ouch, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know.
like the Super Bowl from 2 years ago.
I mean, maybe he finally learned his lesson in that Packers game. He finally ran the football, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to go with the Rams over the 49ers. As far as the Chiefs versus the Bengals, it's tough, man. But there's no reason Patrick Mahomes should have won that game. 13 seconds. There's absolutely no reason that they should have won that game. 28-3. Okay.
13 seconds.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. I think they just got more experience, and they heard all the chatter all year long about how they're washed and maybe they're not as good as we thought they were, and all these different things. And they are playing like a team with a chip on their shoulder. So I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one, but I would not be surprised if the Bengals win. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time for a Hot Take Thursday. Hot Take Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. I've got 2. So I'll leave the floor open for you guys to have 2 as well. And I'll start with you, Coach. Give me your hot takes.
All right. So we already know it was a lot of offense with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen last week.
Bang, bang.
We know the Bengals can do the offense. I'm predicting 1,000 yards of offense. I'm sorry. Yes, 1,000 yards of total offense between the two teams. With both quarterbacks going over 400 yards passing.
Wow.
This will be a game that honestly might be just better than the Super Bowl.
Okay. I hope not, but okay. All right.
And for the Rams and the 49ers, all right, we're going to make this real simple. Shanahan loses because he has run the ball. Earl Mitchell fumbles.
Wow.
That is how it leads to the field goal win.
Wow. Okay. Because God went to the Ravens in free agency. All right. I like that, Johnny. I like that. Okay. Juan, give us your hot take. Hot take. The 2022 Falcons are going to be better than the Ravens. 5-11. Ooh, yikes. Well, I mean, I'm okay with the Falcons being better than the Ravens. That's all I'm going to say.
The Eagles will be bouncing back to reality.
All I'm saying is, listen, if Tom Brady retires, we win the division. We ain't got no Sean Payton no more. Still not a believer in the Panthers because they ain't got no quarterback. And no Tom Brady, we win our division. Let's do it. Juan, it's time for your hot takes.
I'm not even trying to get into like these heated discussions right now. Y'all just like hating on each other. It's like if I don't spew my poison, everyone else does.
I'm not hating on anyone. I'm just saying that I hope that we're good. That's all.
Okay. My first hot take is that Jimmy G will throw 2 pick sixes in this game against.
Sorry, Johnny. I'm a Falcons fan. Sorry.
Does one go to Ramsey?
Yeah, this one does go to Ramsey, and the other, wait for it, Von Miller. Hey.
Oh, I would love to see it. Oh, yeah. I want this hot take to come true.
And then,
I want it to come true.
And then in the second one, it's tough. It's tough, man. You know what? Screw it.
I knew I was gonna do it.
I'm gonna say both Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes combine for 10 touchdowns passing.
Wow. High scoring game. I like it. Right here. Man, oh man. Yeah, they didn't came for Lamar there. That was okay. My hot take.
What's coming?
My hot takes. My first hot take, okay, has nothing to do with, well, it does have something to do with football, but it has nothing to do with the games this weekend. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams end up in Miami. That's my hot take right there. They're both going to Miami. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, both in Miami.
Rodgers, Devontae, and Waddle.
Mm-hmm. You heard it. You heard it. That's what I said. Okay, so first hot take. Second hot take. Second hot take is 2 parts. Both games this weekend go to overtime. Both of them. They both go to overtime. Okay? And in the San Francisco game, the Rams hold Deebo Samuel under 100 total yards. Yep.
We're talking about the same Deebo, right?
Yep.
The same Deebo that tore this 49ers team apart for 100 plus yards from scrimmage twice.
Yeah.
Rushing, receiving.
Total.
8 rushing touchdowns.
Total.
10 plus touchdowns on the season.
3 against the Niners.
Total. Deebo Samuel under 100 total.
Well, we're bringing the drug test back out, so it's all right.
Well, yes, sir. That will do it, ladies and gentlemen, for the Air It Out podcast. We appreciate everybody who jumped in. Yes. Under 100 total. You heard it here first, Johnny. I'm telling you guys right now, that's what's going to happen. Thank you guys for joining in on the Air It Out podcast. Thanks for you guys leaving your comments. Don't forget to follow us on all your social media platforms. That is Instagram, that is Facebook, that is Twitter. Twitter's Inside Hashes. Instagram is Inside the Hashes, and Facebook is Inside the Hashes. And if you want to talk some football, go ahead and jump in there because we love to do so. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify and your streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, all of those different things. Follow us on YouTube, and don't forget to like the YouTube page and subscribe to the YouTube page, and then hit the notification button so you can know when we are live. You guys got to know when we're live. That way you can leave us your comments as you saw today. And we've still got comments coming in. Hey, Juan, your boy Robert Sala will be at the Senior Bowl. What is a question you want him to ask? Juan, go ahead and let us know.
First off, Salah, get the name right. not Sailor. And then second of all, ask him what 2 offensive pieces is he going to draft at 4 and 10, and why are they both offensive linemen?
All right. I like it. Okay. Chris says AB to Baltimore by week 8. He'll call Lamar a running back.
Keep him away. Keep him away like the plague.
Wow.
Please.
People tells us that the Kittle goes for 200. Wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. They're still going to take the L. But ladies and gentlemen, again, ask him how best to screw up a draft. Oh wow. Yikes. Ladies and gentlemen. It's the Air It Out podcast, like I said. And don't forget to check out the website, www.insidethehashes.com, where you get all of our content. That's podcasts, gaming, fantasy football. You got blogs, all different types of things. We are the apex of football. For Coach, right over there in the corner for the one and only, though he has not unzipped the hoodie in a while. My name is Avery Collins. That's Juan. That's Coach. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, Johnny. Until next time, the Air It Out podcast. We are over. We are out. Matt Ryan.
Unzip hoodie coming back for the Super Bowl.
Okay. Oh, I like it. Breaking news. Unzip the hoodie.
I like it. I love it. Bring it back.
Whoa. Listen, Matt Ryan. I'm going to need you to please,
God,
please stop patting the football. We all can see it. I know you're not. I know y'all not playing, but if you can just stop patting the football, I think that people will